Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to continue with Mariah Carey's album cycle with her 7th album, Rainbow. Let me just say this. At this point, she was eager to get out of Columbia and remove every trace of Tommy Mottola from her, but Columbia countered by essentially blackballing her, especially when it came to one of her personal cuts that we'll talk about in a bit. But one man I forgot to mention throughout these album review cycles was Walter Afanasieff, and I might have said his name wrong. He was Mariah's main producer-songwriter for the first 6 albums, but this will be the first where his presence isn't there. Sources differ on how that divorce happened. Some say it was label politics, some said it was Mariah's evolution, while others alleged his close affiliation with Tommy Mottola. The butter knife incident comes to mind. So she decided to make Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis the main producers for this album. So without further ado, let's get into Rainbow. Before we begin, if you want to see music bios or more good videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Also, I've started a Patreon account. On here you get more copyrighted material and they'll be uploaded 48 hours prior to YouTube. If you want to support or visit, link is in the description. And without further ado, on to our feature presentation. Our first song, we got a song that defined the Rainbow era. I remember giving this an honorable mention on my best songs of 1999, as the song used the Stacy Lattisaw Attack of the Name Game sample, and both versions are fun. The content is pain and heartbreak experience after being betrayed by her partner, and highlighted some of Mariah's emotional vulnerability as she struggles to move on. While Jay-Z verses, he understands why he's being called the Heartbreaker, even though he implies that Mariah was the toxic one. Yikes. But the performance on this song is so fun, in a way that we never see Mariah have fun. It's one of the songs that I could overlook the content, as it was fun on the ears. And I think I said the word fun way too much in this segment. And here's the song that caused this album to get lowballed. Now for some context, Mariah wanted this song to be the 3rd single, but the label wanted another hip-hop crossover to be next. So Mariah decided to air out some of her label issues on her website, lobbying the Lambs to request this song to radios. Long story short, Sony obliged, but at what cost? They only gave her a limited radio push, and they didn't promote it as much. Kind of a shame because the song is excellent, shocker. And what do you know, it's a Diane Warren song that always works for me. It's an empowerment song, but more so a message to Mariah herself. Too bad the song is remembered for other reasons, but it's a great listen. Please go back and revisit. This song should be called Whistle Register the Song, cause that's all I can remember from this. And the sad part about it, the rest of the song is just not much. It's sensual, and that's pretty much it. It's one of those songs that you could skip while it not being a truly bad performance. Mariah reunites with Jermaine Dupri and is now teamed up with Usher, and this song sounds like a cut from Destiny's Child, an album JD helped produce for. Tupac also gets a credit on this song as Mariah interpolates Me and My Girlfriend. And that's my problem. I don't think the Y2K sound works for Mariah. Give this to a Y2K artist of that era like Brandy, Monica, Maya, 702, or Destiny's Child. This might have worked better. Just didn't think Mariah was a fit here. And now we go back to the Latin-based song, and this basically is the My All of this album. And since I like My All, I think this is all in that territory of quality. I might like this more than My All. It's Mariah having a nice love-making session with her partner, but she's concerned that after the night ends, they won't remember a thing. But in all, I guess this is good enough. We have another Y2K song, and again, Mariah is not a fit here as vocally, she's all over the place trying to fit in. Now I've heard some comparisons that this song is similar to No Scrubs, a song that Candy wrote, and she also wrote this as well. But listen to the bridge and the whole ex-girlfriend. But the content is not getting there either. It's telling the ex-girlfriend to move on. I'm with him now. But honestly speaking, this might be Mariah's first truly bad song. One definitely you could skip. Remix produced by Missy Elliott, and the first thing that comes to mind is the song It Ain't No Fun If the Homies Can't Have None by Snoop Dogg and Nate Dogg. I already discussed the content, but the remix replaced the Jay-Z verse with the Brat, and I forgot how much talented she is as a rapper, although she threatened to shoot somebody in her verse. And Missy, as one of the female rap goats, she provides a great verse as she warns her partner if she keeps on breaking her heart, she'll leave. I want to say the remix overshadowed the original, but I had as much fun as with the original. I can stick up for this. This is a Phil Collins cover song, and let me just say I'm not the biggest Phil Collins fan. His soft rock music is not for me. His music is for the adult contemporary crowd, so coming into this song, I didn't know what to expect. And let me just say this, the original song is solid, again, not for me. And there's actually two versions of this cover. One is with Mariah solo, where vocally she does her thing, even though she starts to scream sing in the end. Version 2 had the boy band Westlife, and they make the song very choir feel, but they don't add nor take away from the song. As a whole, I was lukewarm with the original, I'm lukewarm with this, it's okay at best. Seeing this title and feature, I did not know what to expect. This could go in any direction, because that's what you will get in a Snoop record, but this was something. It's about Mariah crying. Literally, that's it. At least Snoop comes in as a comforting piece, telling Mariah, don't cry, you'll be fine. And when you find the right one, you'll make them other girls cry. And I don't feel happy about this. It's a song about crying. It's not going to bring me joy. But Snoop doesn't make this a disaster. I'll say take it or leave it. Recently I went on Reddit and looked up what is the worst Mariah Carey song, and a lot of fans said this one. Well, it is, but not for my nostalgia. This song samples the Silk the Shocker, It Ain't My Fault, featuring the disgraced Mystical. And that's a song that I like, specifically part 1. Part 2 is more of a waste. But the song uses the part 2 line where Mystical says, did I do that? The famous Urkel catchphrase. I think the song comes down to Mariah herself, as once again, she doesn't fit with the No Limit sample. The content tries to highlight a toxic relationship. She's in love, but realized that it was a mistake to fall for him. But give this someone to like Monica, she would do way better, because this song requires a little bit more charisma that Mariah doesn't have. Sample might save this, but the Lambs, you have permission to skip this. And this is another personal cut from the album, as it shines a light on her estranged family and her sister in particular. They always had a sketched past, especially after Mariah became massive, and they said they haven't spoke to each other since 1994 as of the making of that album. This song also highlights that she looked up to Tommy Mottola because her dad didn't have a major role in her life. Then she talks about Mottola's children he had from a previous relationship, as she was close to them as they were close in age and had a better relationship with them over Tommy Mottola himself, and a divorce broke that bond too. But in the end, she says she got a love for them all, even with the harsh circumstances that Tommy Mottola put her through. Petals is really gut-wrenching, especially given that her sister died back in August of 2024. This is amazing, go check it out. Final song of the album, and it's another significant song of the era, even if most Lambs are torn on it. Many forget that this is one of her 19 number 1 hits, probably the most forgettable of the bunch. Nowhere near bad, I think the song is pretty good. Content self-explanatory, but I want to shine a light on the features. Joe has great chemistry with Mariah, but 98's presence feel minuscule. They only sing the chorus and have like an ad-lib or two, since Jimmy Jam wanted male harmonies on the chorus, and 98 was the first boy band to come calling. But in all, the song is low-key, Mariah and Joe perform well. It's good, if not great. Just don't listen to the Nas remix, as that sounds like a totally different. And that concludes this album review. I get Mariah wanted to do some experimenting with this, but there were some misses on this album, and home of some of her first truly bad singles. And after a streak of 8s, we're back to the average 7 out of 10s, as this is Mariah's weakest album to this point. Now her next album, or soundtrack, we're going to talk about is Glitter, and all the twists and turns that era had. And that concludes the Rainbow review. Tell me what you think in the comments below. What is your favorite song from this album? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.